When must on-call time be paid as overtime wages? Imagine you're waiting at home, ready to help if called, but wondering if you're owed extra pay for that waiting time. It can be confusing to know when on-call hours count as work hours and when they don't. Let's clarify how the law treats on-call time and overtime pay. Under the Fair Labor Standards Act, or FLSA, on-call time must be paid as overtime wages if it counts as hours worked and if the total hours in a week go over 40. Whether on-call time counts depends on how much the employee's freedom is limited during that period. If you are required to stay on the employer's premises or nearby and can't use the time for personal activities, that time is usually considered hours worked. For example, if you're told to stay within a certain geographic area or must stay in uniform and respond immediately to calls, your on-call time is likely compensable. On the other hand, if you're free to use the time for personal things and only need to respond if called, that time might not be counted as work hours. The key factor is how much control the employer has over your activities during on-call periods. If you are engaged to wait and can't pursue personal interests, then that time is generally paid. If you're completely relieved of duties and free to do what you want, the law usually considers that time non-compensable. Employers should clearly define on-call policies in writing. They need to specify if on-call time is paid and how to track it. If on-call hours restrict your freedom, they should be included in your total work hours. When the total hours worked, including on-call time, exceed 40 hours in a week, you are owed overtime pay at 1.5 times your regular rate. It's important for employers to remember that even if they think the on-call time is not paid, if the restrictions make it hours worked, they must compensate employees accordingly. For workers, understanding these rules helps ensure you get paid fairly for your time. In summary, on-call time must be paid as overtime wages when it counts as hours worked under the law. This depends on how restricted you are during that time and whether your total weekly hours go beyond 40. Employers should carefully evaluate each situation to stay compliant with wage and hour laws.